This is our 1978 Cadillac Eldorado Biarritz Custom Classic. So this video will cover a few different things. First off, there will be a very slow-paced walk-around of the car. Following that, I'll do a second walk-around where I'll show close-ups of all of the cosmetic blemishes under direct sunlight. Then there'll be some shots of the interior, under the hood, and a video walkthrough of the underbody. So it's a pretty interesting car. Actually only has 278 original miles. Check out the listing for the full story or the blog on chicagocarclub.com. But the car was purchased new in '78 by a gentleman in Farmington Hills, Michigan. Cadillac had announced that the Eldorado Biarritz Custom Classic would be the last of the big Eldos, so he bought this thing, optioned it with a Astroroof, and then went and put it away in a sealed storage container as soon as he got it. So only 278 miles from new, single-family owned. Pretty amazing car. I mean, we often see cars that have been stored in storage containers that don't age too well, but this one stayed bone dry, and it's pretty impressive. So you'll see the blemishes later, but there's definitely not many. The Arizona beige paint looks fantastic all around. We actually haven't even buffed it yet. This is exactly what the car looked like when it came out of long-term storage. So the car's never been buffed, never been altered in any way. Comes with a good bit of documentation. We have the original buyer's order, which is actually handwritten from the dealership. We've got the work order and invoices from the American Sunroof Corporation, which is the company that Cadillac sent these cars to do the custom classic modifications, which were the two-tone brown paint and, of course, installing the sunroof. We've also got the bank note from when the car was paid for. Quite a bit of good documentation. The top is in excellent shape. No rust bubbling anywhere around it. Body panels are all super nice and dry. We always see these cars having bubbles in the the corners of the quarters and things like that, and this one is just dry. Trim is all there and all intact. Minimal signs of age. The car was in long-term storage with the hubcaps in the trunk, so they're in like-new condition. Obviously original tires, no flat spots, no dry spots. No dents or dings anywhere on the car. The glass is all clear and crack-free. The lights and signals are all functional, both inside and out. Chrome is quite good throughout. Could use a polishing, but we've decided to leave it just as it was. So here are all the blemishes. In the brown paint, there's a little bit of checking. Right up front, forward portion of the hood, you can see that checking there, just a little bit of a sign of age. And then the filler panels, these are super prone to cracking. They're obviously original, so there's a couple little partial cracks in those. Not too bad, actually, but just a couple partial cracks. You can see right there, there is a little chip. Little scratch. Not a ding or anything like that. And then you can see just how well presented that top is. The brown on the roof, again, has a little bit of checking, as the brown paint was applied after it left the factory at the American Sunroof Corporation. You can see a couple hairline cracks there in the filler panels. But they actually look quite good, considering they're original. And these cars obviously have the gold trim around the rear lights. Little tiny bit of oxidation on the chrome there. We did not want to touch this car. We didn't want to mess with any of the originality, so we opted not to acid wash or polish the chrome, but I'm sure it would clean up nicely. And then you can just see a close-up there of that checking I mentioned in the brown paint. Brown paint has a slight metallic finish to it. This is one of, I believe, only 500 custom classics optioned with the Astroroof. Overall, very, very well preserved. The interior is a definite highlight. Man, really, really very, very, very little to note for age. Door panels have no damage, no kick doping markings, anything like that. Dash is in great shape, no discoloring, no warping, no cracking, nothing like that, no shrinkage. The analog clock within the dash is functional. All the gauges, all the interior lights, all that's functional. The radio is functional. Actually has a CB radio as well. You can see the odometer there, 278 now that I've been driving it. Have only driven it a few miles, but actually feels pretty good considering a car that's been sitting for that long. Radio is functional, power antenna is not. See, the carpet's really impressive. I mean, even around the gas pedal, which is obviously where these cars get dirty, the carpet is like new. Seat bottoms, no scratches, no major wrinkles, no real signs of age. These seats are a beautiful shade. It's a deep, rich brown. Very, very nice in sunlight. But you can see condition is time capsule-like. Now the general wear bits, showing how nice they look. There's the sills. You look at the door jambs. No damage or oxidation. Nothing, no red flags at all. And then again, very clean. Corners are nice and dry. Car is every bit of what you'd hope for from a sub 300 mile example. So the underbody, this car was undercoated when new. Actually, the window still has the Beauty Guard sticker. You can see there the inside of the rear quarter. It's usually the first place these things rust. Very, very good. No through rust whatsoever. Car is structurally sound. Very impressive overall. No active leaks. We actually had the heater core redone as well as the radiator. So the painful stuff is already done. This thing is ready to live in a collection, or if you wanted to put it on the road, by all means, but we think this is a real collector's item. Blue paint is just about all still there. You can see little dabs of factory paint all around the place. A real time capsule.